Hello, guys. Welcome to our climate change podcast. I'm Naum Renteria, and I'm here with my friend
Elizabeth.
And today, we will be talking about climate change. So, Ellie, what is your point of view regards to climate change?
I believe climate change is a very big problem, and it really saddens me to see the state of the world right now with global warming and everything. And I feel like we don't have a lot of time to make these changes, but we also don't really have a sense of urgency to try and fix any of this. So I feel like it's very important for people to be educated in the dangers that are going on right now and try to do something about it.
No, yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Climate change is a terrible thing that's going on in the world, and you talk about how we should all change as a society to make things better, and how can we do that?
I feel like something we can do about it is try to reduce the amount of spending we do. I feel like we buy a lot of clothes, we buy a lot of things we don't necessarily need and don't really think it through, which is really not helping us in the big picture. Like, consumerism has gotten really out of hand, and I think we have to dial it down, especially now with everything that's going on in regards to the climate. And I feel like we can also make better decisions towards trying to get more locally sourced food, or try to get plant-based items and stuff that would help take away the strain from all of these polluting types of sources. I also feel like we have to, as a community, try to get together and try to get more aware of everything. I feel like we have to try to get more people to know about everything that's going on. That would help make people more aware, and then let them know about boycotting. Like, boycotting is very important to try to get these companies to reduce the amount of items that they're making in the wrong way, the way that's harming the planet. But
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But maybe sometimes people say, look, why do we, as a society, here, especially in California, why do we have to do anything about climate change if we're not really seeing anything happening to us? Yeah, you see on the news, the glaciers are melting, emissions are crazy, but nothing really is happening here. So why do we really have to worry about anything?
I feel like that's a very good question. A lot of people don't see themselves getting affected personally, and they don't think, oh, nothing's gonna happen to me, so it's okay. And besides, people get a sense of safety living in the United States, because then that makes them think that if anything were to really get bad, then that's when the government would take action or anything, which just makes people less inclined to do something about it. Yeah, they're aware of all the dangers, but they don't think they're being affected by them, so they don't do anything. But I feel like it's important for people to know that they are being affected, especially here in California. We live here, we get fires, we're getting a lot of fires, temperatures are rising. It's really not good for agriculture or rising sea levels, because the ice is melting. So we're going to get more floods, and that's just going to harm more houses. That's going to greatly impact more people. The lack of agriculture is just going to reduce the amount of food we have available, which is not going to help at all. Rising temperatures are also going to make people turn up their ACs. That's only going to make your electricity bill go higher. So it's going to cost you a lot of money as well, not just getting hot around you, which I feel like are very big problems that people need to be aware of, because it's happening right now, and it's only going to get worse. So I think it's very important for people to know this and try to do something about it.
No, yeah, I agree. Back to what you were saying about ordering just lots of clothes, all those get shipped towards the U.S. if they're imports, and that's a lot of emissions from planes and boats and whatnot. But another thing people might ask is, what is the point of trying as one single person if it's just one person. What is one person going to do to help? And isn't this just like the big companies and the corporations' fault?
I'm glad you brought that up. Because, yeah, I mean, that's something that I thought about for the longest time. Whenever I would hear problems about climate change and stuff. And that's what I heard a lot of people say around me as well. They just thought, oh, well, it's the companies. It's their emissions. It's everything they're doing. So it's their fault. So why am I at fault? And besides, what I wanted to recycle a water bottle? Like, how is that going to help with everything else? Like, this is a global problem. How is just me doing something? So then what's the point? You know, I'm just one person. So what's the point of trying if I'm not going to do any kind of change?
Right.
And after this quarter being in the synthesis program, I learned that we all share this planet. So we can't just have selfish thoughts or like, oh, well, it's their fault, so I'm not going to do anything about it. And I feel like it's important for people to know that it isn't just corporations' fault. Like I said before, consumerism has really fueled these companies' like objective to sell more items. If people boycott certain companies that aren't trying to help the planet, that's just going to incentivize them to try and do something about it. So more people will actually buy from them, which is only going to benefit us. And I feel like if people are more mindful about what they buy, that's also going to help. Boycotting is by far like the most important thing, though. Like, I know I keep saying it, but once people as a community come together and try to work towards something, you're going to make a lot of change. It's happened time and time again in history, and it's only going to keep happening. So I feel like if people go around and spread this information to each other and actually try and do something, stuff is going to change. But yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, history repeats itself. Last thing I wanted to bring up, I feel like I want to make more eco-friendly decisions, but most of them are just really expensive. What do you say to those people that feel the same way I do?
I feel like it's a common sentiment I see among people that, like, they do want to make some sort of better decision, but it's more expensive. I feel like not everything can be. I feel like maybe just walking more instead of driving, maybe taking public transportation, stuff like that can help because it doesn't cost you any money. And yeah, it might be a little longer, but it helps with the environment and the atmosphere. More other things that I feel like people can do, like renewable energy, electric cars, or less AC when it's hot. Like if it's not that hot, maybe lay off. Solar panels, I know stuff like this can appear more expensive to some people, and maybe it's not. No, yeah, it can be expensive to some people, but I feel like they have to look at the big picture. Like, yes, like these plant-based foods, these more friendly types of options can seem more expensive, but if nothing is done, overall everything else is going to get more expensive. Resources are going to get more scarce, and you're just going to end up spending more money otherwise. So I feel like instead you should spend money now while you can still do something before it's too late.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Now, wrapping up our podcast, who do you hope listens to this, and what do you want them to gain from this?
I hope people who, just regular citizens who are aware of this or maybe don't really care about it, listen to this and try to see it from the perspective I did. Because I know I thought a lot of these things initially as well. But I hope they can hear this and maybe have some sort of realization that this is serious, and maybe see and do some of the things that are more available to them. And I just hope they can talk about it with more people as well. Try to get more people aware.
Yeah, I totally. Well, this concludes our climate change podcast. I am Naum Renteria.
And I'm Ellie.